In fall 1939, the recent intelligence initiative has made it abundantly clear that we have several major problems. The Eastern Front is understaffed, and it is relatively unlikely that our thin lines are going to be able to hold against any kind of concerted Russian aggression, even when combined with the local troops, especially that the Moscow Accord now also includes Finland, which means we are going to need to work on the defense of Sweden as well. At the same time, we are very much deficient in terms of aircraft. So aircraft production is a priority. And as such, we are building more and more factories. We've increased the potential production lines for the Bf-110s and for the Bf-19s, just in order to get as much of an air force up in the air to actually control it as possible. And yes, we do wish to. What do we have? We've got a couple of older Heinkels, and we've got a couple of older Bf-109s. So these are going to be converted. No, that's a scout plane. We're going to do these ones. Okay. So older Heinkel 111s are going to be. In fact, we're going to convert them to a new version. We do need the medium bombers, and we desperately need more Bf-109s. We have research coming on reasonably soon for new airframes and new technology in the air. And the Navy is still not in the shape that it needs to be in order to challenge the syndicalists in a worldwide empire, which is what we have, with supply lines running through Asia and potentially through the Suez Canal once we actually have that sorted. So that is somewhere where we do need to make improvements. First of all, our destroyers currently the Zerstörer 1934 is missing the recently researched Gruppenhorchgerät, the sonar that we have available. So we are going to, alternatively, we could, once research comes available, research better sonar, which is relatively quick. The problem there obviously being we also need better depth charges. So there are some refinements necessary for our destroyers and some refits. So we'll probably try to get the S-Gerät done first, and then how much better would that be? That gives us 6-up detection, that gives us 10-up detection. But getting the S-Gerät done in 2 months and then refitting the escort destroyers and the fleet escorts for better anti-submarine warfare might be nice. But I think as it stands, with war looming, we should probably just start refitting all our destroyers with that. So the Zerstörer 1934 is going to get the Gruppenhorchgerät, and of course I need to actually do this because the game does not just generally overrides things. That is variant A, and do we have anything else to modernize? Yes, we do actually. So the Zerstörer 1934A and is going to run with the, let's see, what do we get here? Range, surface visibility. That would actually be nice. We don't actually get anything from Blom and Voss right now, but I think for the 1934, which is the fleet escort destroyer, more or less, it'll not be bad to actually have them running on the Germania Werft, because it does give us range and surface visibility, which is good, but range especially, which is good. We do have some fleet escort submarine hunter, not bad. Maybe we'll just get Blom and Voss on this. Okay, so that's the Zerstörer 1934A. So we can save that, can decommission the older one, and can refit them. We also need to look at the old hulls that we're using from the Weltkrieg, and give them the Gruppenhorchgerät, and they can also run with Blom and Voss. So that's the, and again I forgot, so what's that? V170 class. Okay, V170 class, add the Gruppenhorchgerät, add Blum und Voss, and that is the V170 class A. Let's save that. And we've got the B97 class of escorts, which is probably can just be refitted, but as fleet escorts they work. As convoy escorts, they'll work. So we'll add Blum und Voss again, and I need to copy that. We'll add Blum und Voss, and we will add the Gruppenhorchgerät, and then that is the A variant of this. Save that. And lastly, the Graf Zeppelin carrier design. We have gotten Reda as a doctrinal leader for us, and he definitely works around carrier groups. So carrier groups is something that we're going to have to start building sooner rather than later. We are a little bit late to the game, but then again, the German Navy was very much crafty from the First World War. And the Graf Zeppelin class, so let's take a quick look at it. So we don't have any industrial organizations, but we can update the secondaries on this ship, and we can put some cruiser armor onto them. That increases the production cost somewhat, but at least we'll have carriers that are somewhat armored. I think it'll be fine. I'd rather actually get them going than wait for that. We might refit that later or on the next class of carriers, but for now. That is a carrier with a reasonable deck size of 80. So I will save that design, and we do need to start building a few of them. So we will start commissioning 2 Graf Zeppelin class aircraft carriers for starters, and they will eventually get built, and they will be added to the second Schlachtgeschwader, which is the more modern one. There we go. So we've got the Graf Zeppelin and the Peter Strasser. That means we also need to get some carrier planes going, but I think we'll do that once we have the improved airframes up. Although, yeah, I don't necessarily want to go now and do that. So, okay, let's do that. We do need a Chief of Navy eventually. Reda makes sense. That will improve the speed. His doctrinal changes will improve the speed of all our ships. So that's something we can probably already spend political power on and do. And then we are having complaints at the home front, quite a few, about the number of casualties that Germany is taking in all the foreign wars. To recap, we are fighting currently in Greece, we are fighting in the Ottoman Empire, we are fighting in the Indian subcontinent in a defensive manner. We are engaged in East Asia as well. So all across the continent, German troops are fighting, and while the American Civil War looks like it is going to come to a conclusion reasonably soon, with MacArthur's troops collapsing and the Pacific states not making great inroads, we will eventually have to fight on the American continent as well. So the discontent at home is not something that we can tolerate much longer, which means we are going to have to run some probably some propaganda or do things like solidify our control over the government and other measures to take care of the mood in the country, because after all, the country has to work towards total war. All right, addressing the problem of the Eastern Front, we are going to have to start building up a second army group. So the first army group. That's the first army group. Currently contains the First Army under von Leeb, who is holding the Eastern Front. But we do need to start separating these out logically. So we're going to move him. We're going to move him to a new army group, and that will be the second army group. and he will be taken on the Eastern Front, but we do need more troops significantly. So while we are currently recruiting some specialists, we are going to need another 24 infantry divisions at least for another army. And they will need to assist with at least holding the Eastern Front, because right now with the amount of troops that we have available, this is just not something that we can reasonably do. Meanwhile, German East Asia is actually doing relatively well. They have managed to finally land and encircle some divisions here. In China, the Fengtian government is at the cusp of collapse after we've taken Zhijiao. We can probably push towards the north, further isolate. We do have a supply position here, so pushing further north, taking the last remaining cities in the north should hopefully collapse the Fengtian government. And at that point, I think our mission here may actually be done, because we have a lot of troops committed here. So if any war breaks out in Europe, it's going to take them a very long time to get back. In Greece is critical. So in Greece, we are focusing all our troops on the Greek capital of Larissa, with a potential attempt at breaking through south towards Lamia and cutting off both eastern and western flanks. So if we can mount a counterattack here, that would be a significant victory and probably end the war right there and then. In the Ottoman front, the Ottomans are busy breaking through everywhere in Iran. Ottoman cavalry is at the outskirts of Tehran, currently negotiating with the mayor for a surrender. And we are about to take the enemy capital of Van in the rebellious Kurdistan province, and hopefully that'll collapse the will of the Kurdish people here to fight back against the Ottomans and take care of that as well. How's our air situation? We are currently flying from the airport of Baghdad over into the Kurdish air zone, and the second Jagdgeschwader doesn't have the range, but the first Kampfgeschwader should be. It's at the edge of their range, so we might actually... Do we have a closer airport? We do not have a closer airport. We could try from Adana, but I think it's about the same problem, really, that we're just too far out. I'm going to try and relocate them to Adana and see if they can become more effective from over there. But that's that. Greece, we still don't have any air support, and in the north we are currently destroying some encircled Iranian troops. So that's ongoing. So I think our next focus has to be, while the Greek troops get into position, our next focus has to be the assault in the north here. We have some troops available, which we can use to push north towards Haihei. And then after we've defeated the Japanese counterattack coming across the river lines here with some desperation, I must say, and because they are cut off from supply, then we can further expand the lines north here as well. We have the troops available. The cavalry divisions are just holding the lines here, and but we can support our Fengtian brothers in pushing our Chinese brothers in pushing out the Fengtian troops here in the plains as well. So that should all work out reasonably well. Do we have air support here? We do. However, it is at the edge of the range. So again, not the most efficient use of our bombers here, but it is what it is. So that's ongoing. Meanwhile, here we are about to break and take the capital. And once that has happened, okay, there we go. Our capital of Van has fallen. Let's take a look at the. Where is it? The war in the desert. The Syria, Yemen have capitulated, and Kurdistan will capitulate in a minute as well. So that should hopefully sort that out reasonably quickly, unless they obviously want to fight to the last man, as they are wont to do. No, Kurdistan has capitulated. The Ottoman Empire has reacquired control over the territory, and the war continues. At the same time, advanced machine tools are complete. We have a potential research bonus coming up with the, assembly line production methods. That is something that our scientists have been working on. So as a potential next focus. So we'll do that next, which means that'll give us the ahead of time bonus for the 1941 tech, which is perfect. So we'll get that going, and then that means we have time to focus on other things, like the Eisenbahn- und Bettungsgerüst 38 Zentimeter. So that is a 380 millimeter railway gun. So let's begin researching that, because we need to start building these. And yeah, war support, something we need to do something about, but we'll get there. Greece. Greece is the hottest position. Troops are moving in. We are currently fighting off an enemy counterattack here. And we will see if we can manage to push south and take control, although that looks reasonably well defended. There are a lot of French troops. Alternatively, we can push in the hills south here and secure the eastern flank. That might actually be a better first use. So we'll take the eastern flank, isolate the French divisions, and destroy these. And then we can push towards the south rather than trying to do both things at the same time. All right. These divisions now need to move north, and we can make our way towards Yerevan. For that, we will have to push across this is a relatively well defended and fortified line, so this is not going to be easy. Let's begin by getting the divisions on the front lines. And we're going to have an offensive line towards Yerevan, which hopefully again should deal with Armenia relatively quickly. The problem being that the province of Yerevan has some fortifications, is behind a river line. So hopefully, if we can use the momentum by pushing the divisions out from the left bank of the river, we should be able to chase that up and get them sorted and destroyed. Meanwhile, here we are still dealing with the last Iranian divisions, and then we will clean out the Iranian positions here as well and focus on Armenia. And then I think that war is going to wrap up reasonably quickly, which brings us to the northern situation where we can lend some support, and we are holding the position in Kihar. So let's move the troops here. Infantry can stay, and the assault divisions can move further north as well. So let's get them lined up and give them an actual order. So you stay here, recover your organization, and then push north towards Heihei through the Japanese divisions there. We've got some support from the other side, so I think we are in a good place here. We've got some infantry in the south holding the lines, but all in all, it's and the east is holding. We're just waiting for Fengtian to capitulate, honestly. And while we are just extending the territory here to potentially cut off and destroy enemy positions, take territory, and get Fengtian to capitulate. Which means Greece is okay. We are starting to get our divisions into place in Larissa. So once the attack here has been defeated, we will push east and try to dislodge the Greek defenders on the coastlines, isolate Lamia from the northeast, and then destroy the French troops that are holding the flank. And Baton Rouge has fallen. We have seen this coming since the Battle of Charleston, but it has taken a surprising long time. Syndicalist militias have been pushing towards the city of Baton Rouge for a while now. Reports are now coming in of the city's imminent capture by advancing militias. Huey Pierce Long's current whereabouts are unknown, but it is believed he was rapidly evacuated to the countryside. Disturbing news report that Union representatives and Minutemen are being lynched by mobs in the street, and that the city has been thoroughly sacked with fires spreading throughout downtown areas. Is this the end of the reactionary uprising in America? Yes, it is. It is the end of that, and it is probably going to be the end of the remaining states. We are overstretched as it is, so further operations against syndicalists in the United States on behalf of MacArthur are out of the question. We could potentially try to support the Pacific states as a last holdout against syndicalism, but for now, I think North America is probably lost, with Mexico being a syndicalist as well. This is going to be part of a potential Weltkrieg when it comes up. Back to Greece, where we are just defeating the counterattack, and we have some fresh troops in the area, so we can immediately launch the assault and try to cut off the French. The combined syndicates of America the Union has collapsed. It appears, well, let's move over there, that we can actually see what we're talking about. It appears that the Union States government is on its last legs in the American Civil War. Already most of its land has been swallowed up by the other American factions, and what is left is but the last remnants of its army, now have been demoralized for a long time, and suffering from mass desertions, but holding out against all hope that a miracle might save them. There was no miracle against the syndicalist onslaught. American Union State has capitulated, and that is the end of that particular faction, which means America is coming under the terror regime of syndicalism very, very quickly. But we are fighting syndicalism in Greece, and we will see how that looks like once we are managing to push the Greek defenders out of the foothills here in the south, and manage to hopefully encircle at least the French divisions, but potentially a couple more of them. We are unfortunately under air attack, which is not too bad. We do get some bombing effects, but not an awful lot. But it highlights the necessity of bringing increased amount of AA. We have the Germania Werft, which we are using, I think that was for the cruisers. Yes. So we have for the cruisers we have another trade point. No, that's Mauser. Oh, there are two of them actually. That's why. Okay, Mauser is done as well, so good. And we can look at that next. We have the center branch done, I believe. So this was defense, this is reliability, and that gets us to piercing and hard attack, or soft attack and breakthrough. Or we could go down this route, hard attack, piercing. It's all good. There's nothing really bad about it. Production efficiency gain might actually be quite nice as well. Let's go with quality materials and increase the reliability of our equipment. And we will actually wait for that. Let's have a quick look. Weren't we? Oh no, we actually have the new rifles in production, don't we? Yes, we've got the Schnellladegewehr 40 in production, so we actually do need to upgrade that and do that, which is going to increase the reliability by a few points, which means fewer losses in training, and that means we can quickly replace that and be done with it. All right, and then we have the Germania Werft. Yes, for the cruisers, that's what I was looking at. Fuel usage improvement, surface visibility, not necessarily needing that. Which route did we go? This is already taken. It's always I find it very difficult to see what we've taken and what we haven't taken. Surface visibility for capital ships and screens, that would be good. Or we could go down, that's capital ships, which we're not using here. Surface detection would be improvement. Or we could just go for improved fuel usage, which, given the amount of ships that we're building, might actually not be a terrible thing. Let's get that. I'm not going to upgrade everything now because we're in the process of refitting at the moment anyway. We'll do that at some point when. Do we have another one? No. Why are you still here? We do that in time when we have an opportunity. All right, let's have a quick look. Troops have arrived. Okay. Troops should get into position first. Recover all their. Yeah, let's get the troops into position first. Let's let them recover their organization, and then we will launch the assault out of Van. And the Königlich Bayerische Infanteriedivision, the 7th, is going to be ready as well. I'm going to remove that front line there because it is confusing. There we go. Okay, so that's all in good hands. And in the north, we are pushing the Iranians out, so we can follow that attack up and try to capture their last supply port. And Operation Eulen has been bypassed. Buying time with spies is complete, which means we are getting additional operatives, which is important. Operation Eulen, and I'm not sure why it's been bypassed, but apparently the prerequisites were no longer met, so I'm not looking at it. But if it reduces French stability, that would be good something. But first of all, we are now going to look at assembly line production methods. Let's get that done. And where else were we? Okay, yes. Attacks in the north are continuing against Iranian lines. Here we are moving divisions into position to launch the assault on Yerevan and to clear that out. So that's all good. And then Azerbaijan is safe once more, and we can focus on finishing off Iran. And not sure why we are counterattacking here. There's no need for that. Just hold the lines, please, everyone. No, we're already having trouble with troop losses here, and in Asia, we can complete the operation of cutting off the remaining positions here. We'll leave one division behind. There we go, and I think my front lines need some renovations, but we have sufficient troops around in the area to launch another offensive north and to support the flank. And we've got a division here that we can throw in to the fray as well. So let's push the remaining Japanese defenders out, consolidate the river line, and then see if we can get Fengtian to capitulate. So the northern Fengtian troops here are cut off, but I think they might be capitulating before we get to the point of actually destroying them. We'll try to take Haihei. No, the Japanese defenders, I think, are too concentrated there. So let's just support the assault in the south. And back looking at, I'm actually going to need to reorder my shortcuts. I'll be right back. Okay, the assault against the remaining French troops on the ground, which are quite powerful, to be honest, and have an incredible amount of firepower. But still, the assault is going relatively well. We might be able to push through them if we can wait out the incessant counterattacks. Unfortunately. And that might not be the case, so we'll have to abort the operation, wait for the counterattack to complete, and then consolidate our troops again. Yeah, these French divisions are more powerful than I'm liking. Have we added AA? Yes, we have added AA to the Gebirgsjäger, so at least they have some way to defend themselves against enemy aircraft. Divisions here. It looks like that front needs to be cleaned out. It looks like they have extended their positions here. So I would like to get everybody on the lines here near Yerevan and to get ready for the counterattack. In fact, there seems to be nobody there, so let's see if we can take the. They have retreated into more defensible positions south of the river, which is unfortunate. But maybe we can manage to cross the river behind Yerevan. Let's see if that's going to be possible. Oh no, they are running into defensible positions. We might be able to get through there while they're organizing their lines here. We'll see about that in a second. In Greece, we are again on the defensive for now, and divisions need to again concentrate and try to use an opportunity for a counterattack. And Argentina had, I think, declared war on Paraguay, which doesn't seem to be going well. Argentina, you don't need assistance with that, do you? I'm pretty sure Argentina can handle that. But we do need to keep an eye on that situation. Further assaults across the river towards. This is not actually across the river lines. No. Let's keep pushing the Iranians in the north. We are moving troops into positions near Yerevan, and Greece is and remains troublesome. In China, we are now getting ready for the final assault on the northern city of Haihei. So let's basically get everybody who's available to launch the attack. There we go. Apologies for the noise outside. There is construction going on. There's not an awful lot I can do about that. And I hope it's not too loud on the mic. But the eastern flank looks stable. The Chinese actually breaking through Fengtian lines into the mountains. And we're cleaning up the north, so there should not be an awful lot left here. Greece is where my concerns are. So right now, again, we are on the defensive. We're going to probably dig in here for now and see if we can spot an opportunity to either push east or south out of the positions in Larissa. But for now, just hold the lines, organize the defense, shoot some planes down, and make some headway there. We are trying to push, get the Iranians extracted from the mountains in the east, and troops are coming into position. I need to concentrate here, so move north. We have a potential for a counterattack here instead of going at Yerevan directly. So let's concentrate our divisions in the northern province. Move there and see if we can get an opportunity here to counterattack into the mountain fortresses, because there's also an airbase near Yerevan, which would allow us to get aerial superiority into the region, which is something that we're sorely lacking, because right now even the long-range bombers don't have the range to take this on. So if we can take the airbase east of Yerevan, that would be good. Troops moving into positions. Don't launch the assault just yet, please. Wait for the reinforcements to arrive and get ready for a counter attack once everybody is in position. Over in Greece, we're just holding positions here. We do need to dig in and defend for now. The Sedantag comes around again for 5 political power, and Siemens Schuckert. What are we using Siemens Schuckert for? Multi-role aircraft. I'm gonna have to check, because I do lose track of this sometimes. Siemens Schuckert for the Bf-110. Okay, so we are going to focus on medium aircraft. Yes, so that's done, and that would production efficiency gain, nice. But we do need to do both. This also applies to medium planes. Okay, good. Do we want to? Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Let's get these upgraded, and that means I need to. Okay, yes, I said I was going to do this because it drives people crazy. So this is going to be the Bf-110C1, because it has the upgrade, and it's probably going to which one's the other one? The HS-126. So that one needs to be the HS-26A1 scout plane. Rename because they have gotten the Siemens Schuckert's upgrades. So now we can change the production lines. If one of the to the C1. Okay, that way we're not going to be running out of that way we're not going to be running out anytime soon here. And yeah, we've got Bf-109Ds to refit and many more planes to build. Okay, that's done. Greece, the mountain divisions in Greece are going to have to dig in for now. And oh yeah, we do have some stock of old equipment that we might be able to sell. So especially there's the Spähpanzer I Ausführung A that we're no longer using because we've converted all the tank divisions. So we can sell these off, and we probably have some old planes as well. Yeah, the Fiesel 68, those can go because these old biplanes are not going to be in use anymore. So if some third world country can still use them, we'll sell them off. All right, so that's done. We're currently holding off the Armenian attack near Yerevan, and we will be moving across there soon. We have taken Heihe, so I would assume that Fengtian is about to capitulate. Yeah, it should capitulate anytime soon. So I am not entirely certain why they haven't yet, but we can keep. We've got divisions coming in, so we can keep moving further north, or actually into the mountains, and potentially encircle the. Yeah, we'll potentially encircle the divisions here, and destroy them if necessary. So that'll also cost the Japanese a fair bit. In Turkey, things the Iranians, we're launching attacks here that might not actually be necessary. Let's get everybody dug in, and yes, Fengtian has capitulated. That basically just leaves Japanese exiled divisions, which are now suddenly in a very precarious position. It means that they are surrounded by Chinese troops. And with the Fengtian troops laying down their arms, we have an opportunity here to give the Japanese a big defeat on the ground. So we will use the infantry divisions to take on the Japanese troops left in Neiyang, and if we can still catch them, and we'll use the assault divisions to try and get into the mountain positions here. See if we can attack the Japanese there, and we should have some cavalry divisions around here that we may be able to use. Yeah, these Japanese divisions are all not in a great shape, so let's make a cavalry run east of Harbin and see if we can start encircling and destroying some Japanese troops here. And who's going to purchase? The Pacific states want the FF-68s. They can have them, honestly. And the Swiss want to have them. No, the Swiss I am not friends with. So the Swiss cannot have them. Okay, Japanese troops getting this. Japanese troops encircled. And will be getting destroyed here. Which brings us back to Greece. How's the situation in Greece? Okay, so, troops are digging in currently, but the opportunity sort of has passed to encircle and destroy the French troops. There's no way we're digging these out of the hills. So we might, for now, just focus on the defense and potentially launch an assault south if the opportunity arises. For now, Sweden absolutely can have them. For now, that's all we're going to do. Troops in the north here can wait, and we have the opportunity to counterattack west of Yerevan. So let's see if we can manage to force the river crossing here, and isolate the western provinces. Take the airport, get air support in, take out Yerevan, and finish the war in that position. The Turkish troops have retreated from Tehran, and it looks like Iran has consolidated their southern flanks somewhat. But at least they are starting to make inroads into the Sinai. This is something where we're going to assist with because control over the Suez is very essential. After the cleanup operation in Asia, we could take Korea. We could retake Korea for China. But honestly, I think at this point I'm going to leave the Chinese to it because I'm going to need these divisions back home at some stage. And here we can, I think, already assist with the attack. Yeah. Despite the initial crisis caused by King Edward's choice of bride, to the point where he was almost forced to abdicate the throne, it appears love has won the day. And today King Edward VIII married American film star Constance Bennett, now styled Queen Consort Catherine of the United Kingdom. The spectacle of the royal wedding has thrilled the public in the Dominion of Canada and indeed throughout the empire, with the parade through the capital a majestic affair lasting almost 3 hours before Edward and his new bride flew off to an undisclosed location for their honeymoon, ideally with the memories of a near political crisis long behind them. Yep, the good old Dominion. There is trouble brewing in the south, however, so we will see how that ends up going. Divisions in Greece are digging in. We're gonna need to plan this properly. So we'll leave them on the defense there for now, and focus on the action in Yerevan or near Yerevan, and see if we can manage to force the river crossing here. We have some reserves against the embattled troops. They are relatively well defended in the mountains and storming across the river into enfiladed positions, and prepared artillery is not particularly great. But if we can take the airport, and I don't think we actually have, we might have some range. We're going to. It's at the edge of the range for the Heinkels, so I don't think they can do an awful lot. But once if we can take the airport, that would make the position here reasonably more. Oh, they have reinforced, unfortunately. Yeah, they've sent in reinforcements, so I think forcing the river crossing here is not going to work. Instead, we are going to wait for the troops to complete their movement and then launch another assault. There we go. While Turkish troops are pinning the defenders in Yerevan, we have launched the second battle across the river. We do have at least the air support, although the bombers are at the edge of their range. They're still managing to drop bombs onto the Armenian positions in the mountains. In Greece, the attacks have somewhat subsided for now, and but yeah, we're going to start completing the plan before we launch any kind of further offensive operations here, because it's not going to go well otherwise if we're trying to push south. The Greeks are mounting an attack, however, so we'll let that run first and maybe join in afterwards. We have a potential position here to clear out Iranian troops and we'll join the assault there. Forcing the river crossing in Yerevan again proves difficult, especially these Iranian defenders here are causing us some grief, and are holding the lines quite effectively. So this might not go as well as we initially thought. Yeah, this is going to be really difficult because of the river crossing position. Okay, I think we'll abandon the attempt and once again wait and see if a better opportunity arises, and get the troops to dig in, start planning their offensive better, and then we'll deal with that from there. We might also be able to just push from the west with the remaining divisions here. In China, we are now encircling the last remaining Japanese divisions. We've got some infantry here that we can send to assist with that as well. And we've got some assault divisions in the north here that we can send to help. Has the cavalry made inroads? It has indeed. Where are my cavalry divisions? There's one here. Oh, okay, we're fighting here at the moment. It might actually be more efficient if we are going to send the divisions south to help with the cleanup operations. yeah, we're just pinning the Japanese forces in place here, and trying to further disturb their lines and just wipe out and force the surrender of the remaining troops. This is going to be a lot of losses on their side. And let's take a look at the overall loss for now in the Second Sino-Japanese War. Japan has taken almost 200,000 losses. Fengtian has 260,000 for a total loss ratio of 1-2 at this point. So that is not bad for China. I would say well done. And the Japanese are trying to break out, so we're going to defend here. Well, I think the cavalry can manage to take this position out, push them south, and then cut them off, and then probably move around and help cleaning up there. Here in the west, the last Japanese divisions in the mountain positions here are getting encircled. And I think they will have to surrender relatively soon. If we look at the situation here, yeah, the line near Yerevan is holding. So let's see if we can manage to force a river crossing further west. Peru, Argentina, Paraguay has been annexed and has surrendered. So Argentina has won, and the Peru-Bolivian Confederation has joined that as well. Argentina and their group are taking over large parts of South America at this stage. Given that we are friendly with Argentina and have friendly relations with them, that is overall a good development. And the Armenian defenders here are holding strong, but we should be able to push through there eventually. In Greece, troops are still planning, and we might attempt a counterattack south if there's any development, like this, for example. There are multiple Greek divisions pushing, so that's something we need to look into. The left in Germany keeps fighting among each other, which is great. It improves our base stability and von Schleicher's popularity in the government. So that's a good thing, and we will wait for this assault to subside here. That's a massive Greek onslaught, but our mountain positions should be holding relatively well. Venezuela seems to have made peace with the West Indies, which is interesting. It seems to have split, and the Netherlands have taken out the center of it. Interesting developments there. Haiti is, I think, Haiti was relatively friendly with us. It might be worth sending. What territory is this? This is all hilly territory. We need the mountaineers over there. Not really going to do that right now. We'll ignore them for now. We'll let them be. But given the developments in America, it might be good to eventually send some assistance there. In China, how is it looking? We are slowly trying to push the Japanese divisions into. Okay, let's just hold here. These are just cavalry units. We've destroyed the last Japanese divisions in the mountains. So we'll see if we can. Which one is this? This is the Guangzhou force. That's this one. We'll see if we can find out how many they have lost there. But I think that's 2 months ago, so that wasn't recent. It might not have been these divisions that have done this, but I think we can honestly leave this to the Chinese at this point. And I'm not seeing, this is just clear-up operation. I'm not seeing why German troops need to bleed against the Japanese here. I think at this point, we're not making any inroads into Siam in the north. And we're definitely not going there again. That jungle is deadly. Germany is closing in on near Saigon, which is great. And I think The only thing we could do potentially is to assist them with taking Korea, but I think at this point we will start recalling our volunteers because they are no longer needed, and we definitely, in case of war breaking out in Europe, are going to have some divisions available. Because right now we are very much overstretched. I think China is in a good position and can take on Korea from here after they have cleaned up the remaining Japanese troops in the area. So between episodes, I will be recalling the divisions from China. We are still struggling to break through. We might have another opportunity here near Yerevan to launch an attack, but it might actually be just easier to wait for the troops from the east to come in, clear the river line, and then cross from the south. And in Greece, we will wait out this Greek assault and then potentially launch a counterattack south into Lamia or eastwards into the Thessaly provinces and try to cut off and destroy the French divisions there, which is going to cost the French quite a bit. And we are going to get additional operatives reasonably soon, I believe. In 4 days we're going to get an additional operative, so we can increase our coverage of intelligence in the neighboring countries. Lots of work to be done, but we are getting there. And I think I also forgot. Yes, you probably will be screaming at me. I forgot to upgrade the destroyer models. So I'll do that in between episodes because that's going to be a lot of clicking. So basically what I'll do is I'll go through and just upgrade what can be upgraded, and I think they should all be possible to be upgraded. These are V170s. I should be able to upgrade these. I can up these to the B97s. That's weird. There should be the V170A. I should be able to upgrade to that, honestly. Not sure why it doesn't let me, but I'll figure that out in between episodes. So I'll just queue that all up. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks, everybody. We are slowly but surely moving towards the Second Weltkrieg. Big strategic challenges are coming up. We need to secure the Eastern Front. I'm not too concerned about the French. They're most certainly not going to break this line. However, they might be able to break through the Low Countries, or the British are going to land some naval invasions here. So securing the northern ports is also something that really needs doing, because we can have potential naval invasions from Finland or through Norway, Denmark. Eastern flank needs to be secured. Air Force needs to be massively built up. Troops from China need to come home. And I think India is... the Dominion of India is not doing well, so we'll see what happens on the Indian subcontinent. But China, at least, I think we can call that at this point as completed. German East Asia is finally making progress, and we have a fleet to build up to control the globe, because there's lots of ocean and very few ships available.